My child, before we begin, I want you to pause for a moment and listen carefully, because this message may feel as if it has found you at the exact moment you needed to hear it. There are times in life when the universe prepares to reveal something that has been hidden for a long time, a truth that has been quietly unfolding behind the scenes, waiting for the right moment to appear in your life. And right now, you may be standing at the edge of one of those moments. Because the truth about your soulmate, the person who has been connected to your heart in ways you may not fully understand, is about to be revealed. You may have felt something shifting lately, even if you could not explain it clearly. Perhaps you have been thinking about this person more often than usual. Perhaps memories of them appear suddenly in your mind when you least expect it. Or perhaps you simply feel a strange sense that something important is about to happen. These feelings are not random. When something meaningful is about to be revealed in your life, your intuition often begins noticing the change before your mind fully understands it. My child, many people believe that soulmate connections are simple. They imagine that once two souls find each other, everything will immediately fall into place. But the truth is much deeper than that. Soulmate connections often involve lessons, timing, growth, and emotional awakening. Sometimes two people are brought together not only to experience love, but also to discover truths about themselves and about each other that were hidden beneath the surface. And right now, a hidden truth about your soulmate may be preparing to come into the light. There may have been confusion in the past between you and this person. Perhaps there were moments when you felt deeply connected, moments when conversations flowed easily and the bond between you seemed undeniable. But there may also have been times when things felt uncertain or distant. Perhaps they pulled away when you expected them to come closer. Perhaps they remained silent when you wished they would speak openly about their feelings. These moments may have left you wondering what was truly happening inside their heart. You may have questioned whether the connection you felt was real or whether you had misunderstood the meaning of your relationship. But here is the first truth you must understand. Silence does not always mean absence of feeling. Sometimes people carry emotions that are difficult for them to express, especially when those emotions are deeper than anything they have experienced before. Your soulmate may have been carrying feelings that they themselves did not fully understand. They may have struggled with fears, doubts, or past experiences that made it difficult for them to reveal their true emotions. Many people are taught to protect their hearts rather than expose them. They learn to hide vulnerability behind distance or silence because they believe it is safer than admitting how much someone means to them. Your soulmate may have been doing exactly that. They may have kept parts of their heart hidden, not because you did not matter to them, but because the connection you shared felt powerful enough to challenge everything they thought they knew about themselves. And when a connection feels that intense, it can create confusion inside a person who is not yet ready to face it honestly. But my child, here is the hook you must listen to carefully. The truth cannot remain hidden forever. When two souls share a genuine connection, the energy between them continues working quietly beneath the surface, even when circumstances create distance or silence. Life has a way of guiding people toward moments when the truth must finally appear. Your soulmate may now be approaching one of those moments. Something may be shifting inside their heart. They may be beginning to see the connection between you in a new way. They may be remembering the moments you shared together and recognizing feelings they once tried to ignore or dismiss. Sometimes people need time to understand what their heart has been trying to tell them all along. And when that understanding finally arrives, it can feel like waking up from a long period of confusion. Your soulmate may now be realizing something important about the bond between you. They may see that what you shared was not ordinary attraction or temporary interest. It may have been something deeper, a connection that carried meaning, purpose, and emotional depth. But here's another part of the truth that is about to be revealed. The journey of soulmate connections is rarely about perfection. It is about growth. Sometimes two people must go through periods of distance or misunderstanding before they are ready to understand each other fully. Those moments can feel painful while they are happening, but they often serve a deeper purpose, and they allow each person to grow into the version of themselves that is capable of recognizing and honoring the connection when the truth finally becomes clear. You may have spent time wondering why things unfolded the way they did between you and your soulmate. You may have asked yourself why they did not express their feelings when the connection seemed so obvious to you. But what you may be discovering now is that every experience, every moment of confusion, and every period of silence was leading to something important. Because sometimes the greatest truths about a connection appear only after both people have grown enough to see them clearly. Your soulmate may now be reaching a point where they can no longer ignore what they feel. They may be beginning to recognize the value of the connection you shared. Thus, they may see that your presence in their life was not something ordinary or replaceable. And this realization may be preparing them for a moment of honesty that has been waiting for a long time. But the truth that is about to be revealed is not only about them, it is also about you. Because through this journey, you may have discovered your own strength, your own patience, and your own capacity to love deeply. You may have learned that the love you offer is something meaningful, something that deserves to be appreciated and respected. And that understanding will shape the way this story continues unfolding in your life. Right now, you may not see exactly how everything will come together, but the hidden truth about your soulmate is slowly moving toward the surface. And when it finally reveals itself, you may realize that every moment of uncertainty, every question, and every experience you went through was guiding both of you toward this moment of clarity. My child, when a hidden truth begins to move toward the surface, it rarely appears suddenly. Instead, it unfolds quietly, step by step, until the moment arrives when it can no longer remain hidden. The message you are receiving now is not simply about curiosity or imagination. It is about understanding that something within your soulmate's life, and perhaps within your own heart, is preparing to shift. There are times when the truth about a connection reveals itself only after both people involved have walked through a period of confusion, distance, or silence. Those experiences may have felt painful or uncertain while they were happening. Yet you may have wondered why things between you and this person seemed so complicated when the bond you felt was so strong. But sometimes the purpose of those moments is to prepare both souls for a deeper understanding that could not appear earlier. Your soulmate may have been carrying something within them that they were not ready to face openly. Many people go through life protecting themselves from emotional vulnerability. They learn to hide their feelings, even from themselves, because acknowledging those feelings would require them to confront fears they have been avoiding. Your soulmate may have been doing exactly that. They may have felt the connection between you, but struggled to understand what it meant. When someone experiences a bond that feels deeper than anything they have known before, it can challenge their sense of control. Now, it can raise questions they are not prepared to answer. Instead of exploring those questions honestly, they may step back or create distance. They may convince themselves that the connection is not as meaningful as it feels. Or they may focus on other parts of their life to avoid confronting the emotions that the connection brings to the surface. But here is something important you must remember, my child. Truth has a way of returning. Even when someone tries to ignore what they feel, the heart continues holding on to the memory of that feeling. Over time, experiences in life begin reflecting that truth back to them in ways they cannot easily dismiss. Your soulmate may now be noticing signs that remind them of the connection they share with you. Perhaps certain conversations with others feel incomplete because they lack the depth you once offered. Perhaps moments of happiness or difficulty bring back the memory of how you would have responded if you were there beside them. Or perhaps they simply feel a quiet awareness that the bond they experienced with you was something different from anything else in their life. These realizations often appear slowly, like pieces of a puzzle that begin forming a clearer picture over time. At first, they may not fully understand what these feelings mean. They may simply feel a sense of curiosity or nostalgia when they think about you. But as time passes, those feelings can grow into something stronger. They may begin asking themselves questions they never asked before. Well, why does this person still appear in my thoughts even after so much time has passed? Why does the memory of our connection feel more meaningful now than it did when we were together? What if the bond we shared was something important that I did not fully understand before? These questions are often the beginning of revelation. Because once someone begins asking them honestly, the answers they discover can change the way they see everything that happened between them and the person they are connected to. Your soulmate may now be reaching a point where they are ready to face the truth they once avoided. They may begin recognizing that the connection between you was not just a coincidence or a temporary moment in their life. They may realize that your presence affected them in ways they did not fully appreciate before. And this realization can feel powerful because it challenges the assumptions they once made about their feelings. Here's the hook you must understand. The truth about a soulmate connection often reveals itself when both people involved have grown enough to understand its meaning. Growth changes the way people see their past. Experiences, lessons, and personal reflection can open someone's eyes to things they could not see earlier. Your soulmate may now be experiencing that kind of awakening. They may look back at the time you shared together and see it from a completely different perspective. Moments that once seemed simple may now appear significant. Conversations that once felt ordinary may now reveal deeper meaning. They may see that the connection you shared was built on trust, understanding, and emotional depth, rather than just attraction or convenience. But this realization can also bring uncertainty. Because understanding the truth of a connection does not always make it easy to know what to do next. Your soulmate may wonder whether you still feel the same way about them. They may question whether the bond between you can still exist after everything that happened. They may even fear that the opportunity to express what they now understand may have already passed. While they have been discovering these truths, your own life has been evolving as well. The experiences you went through during your time of uncertainty may have helped you grow into a stronger and more self-aware person. You may have learned that your love is something valuable, something that should never be taken for granted. You may have discovered that your worth does not depend on whether someone recognizes it immediately. These lessons can change the way you see relationships and the way you see yourself. You may now carry a deeper sense of confidence in your own heart. And that confidence will influence the way the story between you and your soulmate continues. Because when the truth about a connection finally appears, it does not simply reveal what someone feels. It also reveals how much both people have grown since the moment when the connection first began. The hidden truth that is about to be revealed may change the way both of you understand your journey. It may show you that the experiences you went through were not meaningless confusion, but part of a larger path leading to this moment of clarity. And as this truth continues unfolding, you may discover that what once seemed uncertain was actually guiding both of you toward a deeper understanding of each other and of yourselves. My child, when a hidden truth about a soulmate connection begins to unfold, it rarely stops with a single realization. Once the first layer of understanding appears, deeper layers often follow. The heart starts seeing things that once seemed invisible, and moments from the past begin to carry new meaning. Your soulmate may now be experiencing this exact stage, where pieces of the story that once felt confusing are slowly becoming clear. In the beginning, when the connection between you first appeared in their life, they may have felt something powerful, but unfamiliar. Sometimes a soulmate connection arrives in a way that disrupts a person's sense of certainty, and it can feel exciting and frightening at the same time. On one hand, there is a sense of recognition, a feeling that this person somehow understands you without effort. On the other hand, there is the fear that comes with realizing that someone now has the power to affect your emotions deeply. Your soulmate may have felt both of these emotions at once. They may have sensed that the bond between you was meaningful, but they may not have been ready to face what that bond required from them. Love that carries depth often asks people to become honest with themselves in ways they have never been before. It asks them to release old fears, old habits, and sometimes even old versions of themselves. Not everyone is prepared for that kind of transformation when it first appears. So instead of embracing the connection fully, your soulmate may have tried to keep it at a distance. They may have told themselves that the feelings were temporary, or that the connection was simply a coincidence. They may have focused on other parts of their life to avoid confronting the emotional truth that was quietly growing between you. But truth has a way of returning, my child. No matter how long someone tries to avoid it, the heart remembers what it felt. And when life begins placing moments in front of them that remind them of that feeling, the truth slowly begins resurfacing. Your soulmate may now be experiencing moments where the connection with you appears in their thoughts without warning. It might happen when they hear something that reminds them of a conversation you once shared. It might happen when they experience something meaningful and realize that you are the person they wish they could talk to about it. Or it might simply happen when they feel a quiet sense of familiarity when thinking about you, a feeling that they cannot explain but cannot ignore either. These moments are often the beginning of deeper reflection. Your soulmate may start looking back at the past in ways they never did before. They may remember the way you listened to them when they spoke about things that mattered to them. They may recall how you noticed the small details about their life that others often overlooked. They may think about the comfort of knowing that someone genuinely cared about their happiness without expecting anything in return. And slowly, the truth may become clearer. The connection you shared was not something ordinary. It carried meaning that they did not fully understand at the time. Here is the hook you must understand. Realization often appears after someone has experienced enough life to recognize what truly matters. When people are younger in their emotional journey, they may chase excitement or distraction because those things feel easier to understand. But as time passes and experiences accumulate, they begin recognizing the difference between what is temporary and what is meaningful. Your soulmate may now be seeing that difference clearly. They may notice that the connections they formed after you do not carry the same emotional depth. They may realize that the comfort they once felt when speaking with you is something rare. And once someone sees that truth, it becomes difficult to forget it. But with realization often comes another emotion: regret. Your soulmate may now understand that the connection they shared with you had the potential to grow into something lasting. They may see that your loyalty, patience, and emotional honesty were qualities that many people search for, but rarely find. And they may begin wondering why they did not see those qualities clearly while you were still standing beside them. These thoughts can create a powerful emotional shift inside them. They may begin questioning the choices they made in the past. They may imagine what their life would look like today if they had chosen to stay and nurture the connection instead of stepping away from it. But while your soulmate has been discovering these truths, your own journey has been unfolding as well. And when things between you felt uncertain or distant, the experience may have brought pain and confusion into your life. You may have wondered why someone who seemed so connected to you could suddenly create distance. You may have questioned whether the bond you felt was real or whether you misunderstood its meaning. But over time, you may have learned something important about yourself. You may have discovered that the love you offered was genuine and meaningful. You may have realized that your worth does not depend on whether another person recognizes it immediately. And through that realization, you may have grown into a stronger version of yourself. The person you are today may carry more confidence, more self-respect, and a deeper understanding of what you deserve in a relationship. This transformation can change the energy you bring into the world, and it can also influence the way your soulmate now sees you. If they observe your life from a distance, they may see someone who has continued evolving, even after the connection between you became uncertain. They may notice your strength, your independence, and the way you carry yourself with quiet confidence. And that realization can deepen their understanding of what they once had, because they may now see that the person they once struggled to understand was someone who could have been an extraordinary partner if they had been ready to embrace the connection fully. Your soulmate may now find themselves standing at a moment of truth. The hidden truth about your connection may no longer feel hidden to them. And they may understand that the bond you shared carried meaning and purpose that they could not see before. But they may also realize that time has changed both of you. Because while they were discovering the truth about what you meant to them, you were discovering the truth about your own value. And that truth has the power to shape whatever happens next in this story.